Welcome in, Revolt Racers. Congratulations to our podium of chatters. We've got Alma, Nick, and Marquito in first, second, third for the chat. Congratulations to y'all. Prizes will be in the mail. But more important news. We are here with the Revolt Racing League. Once again, it's been about a year and a half, give or take, since the start of the last Revolt Racing League. And it's happening again. No, not Twin Peaks. Revolt Racing. The Revolt Racing League, specifically, hosted by HotSeat. Today we've got Division 3 for ya. On Friday we'll have Division 2, and on Saturday we'll have Division 1. I do believe that's how it's gonna go. Each week, the HotSeat Revolt Racing League promises an array of different racing challenges to its drivers. For the first week, we will have the advanced competitive session. Pickups, I do believe, are off. If you are new to the Revolt Racing League, pickups are on in some sessions. I believe 2 to 3 sessions will have pickups on. I don't believe this is one of them. I would love to show y'all a car list and such. And I think I can do that, but it's going to be in a quick little ugly screenshot form. Would love to provide some art with it and show the cars alongside it, but ain't nobody got time for that, to put it simply. So what you got is a text list. In fact, I might not even give you a text list, if I'm being honest. I might just read them. Revolt Racers, you know what it is. It's the Pest Control, Pole Pause, Rotor, R6 Turbo, Panga TC, Bertha Ballisti, Evil Weasel, NY54, Aquasonic, RC San, Emperor, DRJ61. Now, most of these cars are stock cars. We do have a couple that are not. Emperor, DRJ61. The trick is, you are only allowed to pick 2 of these cars, and you have to stick with them throughout the entire session. You can only switch, you have unlimited swaps, but only between those 2 cars. You can't use any car other than the 2 that you choose. Now I am trying to join the lobby. Is it that the lobby opens at 18? Am I missing that? It might be that the lobby opens at 18. At 20. At 20 CET? aka 18. Yeah, you really shouldn't say things that aren't UTC to an American. I would really appreciate it. Because when I see 20, I'm like, oh fuck. Okay, I've got 2 fucking hours. So that's great. It is gonna be 18 UTC. Okay, sorry. I will give a special shout out to Nick, who possibly, I think most likely has the live standings available for us this week. So huge shout out to Nick, who is currently doing stuff right now and needs someone to hold him. So if anyone wants to do that, welcome in. Yes, my darkness. Hopefully we get some Pest Control gamers. I would absolutely love it. I will note, pickups are off. Pest Control, great top speed. So it could feasibly be one of the cars that people choose. Maybe one of those cars that they only pick on very specific high speed oriented tracks, rather top speed oriented tracks. We could see it come out. We have lots of Pest Control aficionados in, I think, Division 1. In Division 3, I'm not sure if we'll see anyone brave enough to bring it out, because you really do have to have quite a strong mastery of the car in order to be able to use it in an effective way. Please, Nick, do not explode. Burdang in the building, possibly. And a big shout out to Lopesca, who is in Division 3, right? He is. He used the Cougar on one of the qualifying sessions. Didn't quite work out as intended. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea if it had anything to do with the Cougar or not, but that would be my assumption. Lavi is up, thank you very much. Now, does Lopesca deserve to be in Division 3? That is the question. Because he just tore up the Formula RPG 1. So Definitely going to be a force to reckon with. Okay, Keela, we've got you today. We had GeForce yesterday, the other day. Everyone wants to give me a hard time because I don't like to play single player games, okay? I mean, everyone needs to just give it a rest, okay? Joking, of course. I have beat the game multiple times. I've beat the game multiple times. This is a different save because I didn't know how to transfer saves when we started using the Revolt launcher. So there's your explanation. I agree, Amma. I agree. Okay, so we got everybody joining in. Now, actually, earlier than right now would have been a good time to have the standings available for y'all, but I can do that right now as well. Okay. Boom. So this should be our live standings. We do have a spot for all the flags, but I mean, we got the basics figured out. You know, it's not a big deal. And there they are. Whoa. Okay. So our 16 racers, we've got Jeromu, Kotick, Roddick, Cam, aka Tova, aka Cam Tovalski, Lopeska, Kippy, Kondrakov, 67, Titan, Oisiek, Berdang, Inigo Rave, Sever, Wallison XP, Felipe, Mateo, and Philo. And I will note, 3 of these racers originally did not make the cut. I believe it was Seber, and 2 of the 3 Brazilians on our list. I don't know if they made the cut based on qualifications, but we did have people drop out because they couldn't race at certain times, and so everybody did end up making it in. So a pretty exciting moment for our 3 waitlisted drivers. And we'll see if they're able to turn it up despite not having the best qualification times. Now, we're talking about poor qualification times. There are a couple people on this list in the 3rd division who a year and a half ago were starting in Division 1. Sorry to call y'all out, Lopeska and Kippy, in the house. Again, very sorry to call y'all out like that. But I will say it. So we'll see if they're able to, if they're going to be putting on a force here, or if they're going to be middle of the pack, or what's going to happen. We've got Jeromu, who absolutely dominated his division last year. We'll see if he's able to make that happen again with what looks to be a bit heightened competition. We've got Inigo in here, who is a bit, I was gonna say new to the scene, but that's not a very accurate statement. But Inigo has been in a lot of competitive events. He's also often in the Twitch chat, one of our chat monsters. Hello. And he is here fighting in Division 3. I expect big things out of him as well. Berdang, a celebrity in the RVA community. And we've got a lot of Polish representation as well. We've got Tova, Titan, Oisiek, and Mateo, as well as 3 Brazilian racers, which is a bit new to me. Often we only have GeForce representing Brazil typically, but we got some fresh blood from Brazil. We're going to be headed to Jailhouse Rock to begin us off. We're currently sitting at 13 of 16 racers. Whole lot of R6 Turbo, which isn't particularly surprising. R6 Turbo is seen as one of the top cars of its class, and that is in pickups on races. And R6 Turbo is extremely light. So I don't find it surprising at all for the R6 Turbo to be brought out in a pickups off race. And so I believe R6 Turbo is going to be the all-around slugger for a lot of these drivers. And then they'll have, oh, I'm not spectating. I think I got moved to XD. And so I think for the second car that they use, it's going to be either a top speed car or a car that's very oriented towards cornering and accelerating for more technical tracks. I expect that to be the strategy for a lot of these racers who are on that R6 Turbo, but I do believe R6 Turbo has a great top speed as well. So there's a lot of options, a lot of different routes that they could take. R6 Turbo, just a super flexible car. Welcome in, Pokers. Welcome in, Makakashi. Your name, your name, bro. Every single time, I'm just like, how am I gonna say it? Definitely said it the wrong way that time, but we'll keep moving on. And yeah, so we are going to be hopping in soon. Felipe in job. Okay. So that's unfortunate for Felipe. But Philo here, who seems to know Felipe, so. Okay. Mateo gonna have to skip this week. Again, car options going into the race. Pest Control, Polpaz, Rotor, R6 Turbo, Panga TC, Bertha Ballistics, aka Bertha Ballisti, Evil Weasel, NY54, Aquasonic, RC San, Emperor, DRJ61. So some options that immediately jump out to me would be Emperor, a solid choice. Of course, this is other than R6 Turbo. I would say you could go for a top speed option, maybe something like Polpaz, maybe. It's kind of off meta choice, but maybe Panga, TC, of course. If you wanted a car for more technical tracks, maybe RC San, maybe Aquasonic. What is any thoughts from chat? What would you go with if you were in their position? I can go and take a screenshot of the list and get it posted real quick, because we are still waiting 1 minute here. Bertha Ballin, that's right. I see R6 everything. I like where your head's at for sure. I didn't get to finish reading the rest of the comment because I'm uploading this, but R6 everything, Pest / Panga TC on Urban. Okay. And again, the track list: Jailhouse Rock, Toy World 2, Hospital 2 Reverse, Route 77, and Stadvolt will be the top half of our races. We are headed straight into Jailhouse Rock. Oh, Keela. Okay, in the chat, excited for Inigo. Oisiak, not connecting. Inigo with the get off R6. Out to an early lead. Ooh, is going to miss the bank a bit on that. Lopesca. And Jeromu. Give me just a moment here. I'm going with some in-game audio here. Turn it up a little bit. Still really quiet. We can fix that later though. Currently is Jeromu, Lopesca, Inigo for our front three. Inigo leading a pack of about 4 or 5. They got 6 laps here, and they just finished their first one. And this is also the first track of about 8 to 10, so lots left to go. Okay, let's flip through the field a bit. We got Burdang chasing Inigo, Cam, aka Tova and Kondrakov, Kotick and Titan, Wallison and Roddick, Fielho. Where is Kippy? Oh, he couldn't make the first race, but he should be able to make the next ones. Shout out to Amma. Thanks for letting us know. It continues. Lopesca has not been able to catch Jeromu. And Jeromu, who again dominated in the last Revolt Racing League, he's looking to make a statement even against these previous Division 1 racers. We can hear that Emperor very close. It's got a big engine on it, and Tom Dom was actually able to drive this with great skill last season in the Revolt Racing League. Now, we did see Inigo drop off the map a bit, had some trouble in the tunnels. It can be a tricky part of the track for sure, because you get one of those intermediary spots in between the low ground and the high ground, and it can mess you up. But he didn't fall back too much. He is still sitting in 6th place. Oh, and maybe we can pull out some scenic shots. Let's see if Jailhouse has them. Ooh. So I was thinking when I said that, I thought Jailhouse Rock might not be the best place for some scenic shots. It just might not be the best place. But that was a pretty nice scenic shot, right, guys? That was pretty good, right? Anyways, I'm sorry. Inigo on the pass. Kondrakov and Kotick for 6th place. Wall. Okay, the split pathways, but Kondrakov is good. Okay, no, was just a momentary bit of lag. Taking similar paths now. Inigo cutting on the inside and slowing around the turn. We are on lap 5 of 6. Some slight teleporting from Kondrakov. He is going to wreck with the stairs. Oh, Inigo. I'm not sure if that was influenced by Kondrakov or not, but we got to flip forward for the moment because there is an intense battle up here in the front field. Jeromu versus Lopesca. The fight continues. Lopesca in the Death R6, a very intimidating R6 Turbo. If you saw that, you were approaching that, you just see death in the window. Could be pretty intimidating, but he's got no one behind him. He's just trying to catch Jeromu here. Cam, the lone rider of that Emperor, and he's making it work. He's got a smooth 3rd place right now. Huge gap on Burdang. We'll see how they approach this wall bank. Looks good. Got some cheers for Lopesca. Purinal Team Racing teammate Ertzu. They just took this week, they took the crown for the Formula RPG 1. Shout out to Team Porridge Teddy. But does he have what it takes? In a more standard setting such as this? We'll have to watch. So far, it does look like Jeromu. Ooh, he's taking a dip. It's not gonna matter, but he's just gonna take a dip in the cool, refreshing waters of that jail. Tova in third, Berdang fourth, Kotick beating out Kondrakov, and it looks like Inigo has fallen back behind Roddick right by the end in that Aquasonic. Titan in ninth. It's hot. It's hot. I agree. Yeah. And then Wallison and Philo rounding us out. Berdang with the fourth place. All right. Okay. Now, if I am going to continue to have the in-game sounds, which I'm kind of quite liking, I've got to turn it up a pretty good amount. That's okay. Okay, now what's up next? So again, asking for predictions from the chat. What cars do you all expect to see besides the R6, or is it just going to be R6 all the way? Because we did have someone say they thought it was just going to be mostly only R6. I think that's possible. We are headed to Toy World 2. Up next, Hospital 2 Reverse. We'll see if any swaps come out. It is looking like Team R6 going pretty strong. I will note R6 can have some issues with landing, right? I'm pretty sure some people have experienced that. And yes, good point, BGM. Let's check out the standings, see if it's working. Okay. There we go. Shout out to Nick, not only hosting, but providing us with the live standings. Rotor on Route 77. Ooh, okay. I was thinking of the wrong Toy World, obviously. So the landings won't matter at all. Are mostly going to be sticking with the R6 Turbo. Aquasonic seems to be a comfort pick for Roddick. Got Inigo, shaky start, Oisiak as well, but that balloon is there. The ball is going to claim many people. Let's check out towards the front. Tova and the Emperor making it happen. Roddick, and look at the off meta. We've got all the people in the non R6 out at the front. Lopesca, I'm pretty sure that's the Aquasonic. Certainly, yeah, it is. So the Aquasonic's coming out strong here. It looks like Lopesca has made his lock in. He's going to be driving the R6 and the Aquasonic. Berdang, once again, out in fourth. Yeah, Lopesca has swapped to Aquasonic. And he's making it work quite well. We can see Berdang seems to be passing up Roddick quite easily in the R6, but, well, tough to say. Jeromu in the mix, going on the inside, not going to be able to pass. He does have the top speed advantage, as you can clearly tell in the straights, but Roddick able to block quite effectively with his vehicle. Not going to be able to do it in perpetuity, though. And as we flip towards the backfield a bit, Kondraka, Wallison XP, and Kotick, and we also have Jeromu, Titan. Everybody getting wrapped up in this. So it seems like y'all expect Route 77 to be when the car swaps come out. Not sure I can change bitrate right now. That's the first time it's been brought up on the stream, but I definitely can look into it afterwards. I do believe you gotta restart the stream to change the bitrate. headed into lap 6. This fight continues for 5th place. Looking towards the front though, we've got Tova still out in the lead. Burdang fighting with Lopezka. I can definitely try to increase it because as you can see, I'm not having any major issues. Like I'm not dropping frames or anything. And the Revolt launcher fixed most of the issues that I was having with frame drops. So I could definitely, thank you for the suggestion. I can't do it right now, but I'll definitely see how much higher it can go. Burdang continues to fight Lopezka. It's been a bit of a quiet match. We've got Tova way out in the front, not making any mistakes. I think we need to watch back here in the backfield a bit more. We've got Inigo actually in last by a 300 meters. I don't know if he had a DC or what, but maybe a red X. I don't know. We got Wojciech in 10th. The main fight here though is 6th, 7th, 8th, maybe 5th included in that too. Where Kippy? Oh, so Inigo, I think the radar just got messed up for Inigo. I would say Inigo is probably 7th, and then Kotick 6, Kondrakov, you know. So Jeromu continuing to fight with Roddick. That slower Aquasonic, it just gets pushed right out of the way, even by the tiny little R6 as they head into the turn. And now Jeromu going to be chasing down Burdang, who is no longer in the hunt with Lopezka. Tova is going to finish us up. We got Burdang out in 3rd, Jeromu 4th, Roddick 5th. And it's going to be ducks in a row as they finish it up. Kondrakov, Kotick, Inigo, and oh, it looked like Inigo actually finished behind. Maybe not. I think Inigo actually by 9 milliseconds beat out Titan there for 8th place. Burdang 3rd, almost getting approached by Jeromu there by the end, but shout out to Santi. Welcome in. Yeah, I can see what I'm set to right now. All right, I'll turn it up. It actually didn't seem like I had to restart the stream to do that, so y'all might see it an immediate improvement. Okay, next track is going to be Hospital 2 Reverse. Looks like Wallison has swapped. Philo has swapped. They've swapped to the Aquasonic. Most people are just sitting on the R6 here though. Unless Aquasonic is a comfort pick for them, which it does seem to be so for a number of people. An early lead from Lopezka, the Emperor fighting, but did have one minor issue with a turn. Well, oh, Lopezka. Oh, lots of people struggling here. Burdang, Wojciech, Roddick, Titan, Kondrakov. Okay, let's flip towards the front. Lopeska out 20 meters. Tova has had some more issues from the looks of it. Jeromo and Berdang in the classic R6, and Lopeska has failed that final turn once again. So 3 R6 turbos walk into a hospital, and that's it. We'll see who wins, because it does seem to be Lopeska, Berdang, and Jeromo fighting it out here on Hospital. Of course, race has kind of just started, about to be on lap number 4, but there does seem to be a clear gap between the racers here. And I say that, but Jeromo got caught up, thank you, Amma, he got caught up under one of the hospital beds there. And so there's Tova. Now, Tova is, I would say, the people's champion of today's race. Out here on the Emperor, a very high skill ceiling car, and also a very low skill floor car. So, especially areas such as the one we just witnessed, it's very easy to get turned around and such. So, for him to be operating at a 3rd place level is powerful. Now, he did just get the 1st place, but you can see how easy it is to lose control on this vehicle and lose 2 spots just like that. Chat is doing the absolute most today, and I'm here for it for sure. Chat is just doing the absolute most. Yeah. So we'll stop watching the People's Champion for right now. Because we do have a battle for first on our hands. Lopeska, we got to see him bumping Berdang right out of the way. I'm sure that was a cathartic moment for a lot of RVA racers who just seem to love seeing Berdang get hit, whether it's with pickups or just with the car. They just love to see Berdang fail. And I don't know why it is, but there's a lot of tension in the air with some of these RVA racers. I, for one, am rooting heavy for Berdang. He's out here in 2nd place. He's putting Lopeska he's putting his feet to the fire, and he's got a big gap between him and 3rd place. Could go for some aggressive lines. In the meantime, we've got Kondrakov, and I believe he just lapped Osiek. There is lap traffic, yes, already. We got Jeromo 4th, Tova 5th, trying to keep all 4 wheels on the ground with that crazy Emperor. Kotick and Roddick continue to fight as well, but I know we've got to stay focused on the front field. Berdang has wrecked a couple more times, unfortunately enough. Now Kondrakov is going to be fighting him. Kondrakov not happy about that one. Jeromo. I believe Jeromo won our first race, and that reminds me I'll have to flip over to the live standings after this last lap here on Hospital. But we do have Kondrakov and Jeromo fighting out for 3rd. Berdang got a nice little cushion for 2nd. Should be able to make it smoothly into 2nd. Lopeska, smooth 1st place finish. Unless something catastrophic like that happens. And Kondrakov in the bathrooms is going to have to spend a little bit more time there than he wanted to, as he plays pinball with his own car. Now, fortunately, he did have a pretty large gap on Tova, but he's all over the place now, and he's lost the lead on Tova, and he's trying to defend against Kotick. Kondrakov, a nightmare scenario here at the very end, is going to finish up in 5th. You really hate to see that happen. Hold on, I should have pulled down the scoreboard here. We've got Inigo, a respectable 9th place finish, as he does some pinball of his own, does some trick shotting, if you will. Philo and Osiek still fighting it out, gaming hard indeed. Okay. Golazo, and he got caught up. Philo. Oh, the hospital beds claiming yet another life on the very last turn. They'll sneak up on you. They'll sneak up on you. You gotta be careful. You'll trip on them. Wallison knows. He knows, so he's gonna completely dodge both of those. Berdang goat in the chat as well. Shout out to Power Straw 2. Thank you for that subscription. Now, I have mentioned that since we don't have the Revolt Cash Cup right now, that the sub money will be going towards the sub money of Revolt United will be going towards the prize pool of Revolt Racing League. So thank you for that contribution. We are headed to Route 77. We do have a singular rotor. We've got Syrup King in the house as well, yo to you. So, this should be the area where the car swaps are coming in. And so far, I'm not seeing a ton of that. We do see Kotick switching. We see Roddick on the rotor. Was that an NY54? Yikes. I mean, NY54 is my favorite stock car, and I'm still saying yikes to that one. Quite an interesting decision. It is going to be Top Speed Gaming, so it makes sense, but oh my, NY54. She just struggles. She really does. All eyes on our rotor, if I can find him. Roddick in the pink rotor. Wow. Making a statement here on Route 77, and it's very effective until that one turn. It is going to take a little bit more expertise to keep that thing on the ground. It is flipped over, but it doesn't really matter too much. Berdang left. I don't know if there was a DC or what happened. All right, Roddick, that pink rotor. Yeah, I don't see him anywhere. Most likely DC, I agree. So the fight for first is on. The R6 turbos are emerging. Oh, it began, says Berdang. Yeah, you're about a minute and 20 seconds late, my man. But welcome to the race. You are going to be sitting out for this one, most unfortunately. Even the RVA restart time has elapsed, so sorry about that one, bro. And Lopesca is in the lead with the R6. Konjakov approaching. And as this duel continues, as it does have a lot of time, it looks like Roddick has managed to pass up 3 racers from 6th to 3rd. Kotick in the NY54, making it work. In fact, making it work seemingly just as well as the rotor. Tova staying true to the Emperor. Yeah. You can't be losing top speed like that because the NY54 has very slow acceleration. Wallison XP in 6th. Jeromu. Whoa, out in 7th with the R6. Not a very good race for Jeromu. And even worse race for Berdang. So some interesting results so far. The race is not over. There's still lots of time left to go. Inigo back there in 10th, behind Titan and Philo. Oisiek nearby. He does wreck. Lopesca. Kondrakov. And it looks like the race to watch is right here. Kundrakov, Roddick, and Tova for second place. Were you expecting the Pongat CC? I think that would be a reasonable pick. The old Bonga. Exactly, Ryals. Exactly, Ryals. The rotor is proving to be a super strong pick, but he's not had the accuracy that he needs with it, the consistency. So he's been able to find the people, but then he wrecks, finds them again. Definitely not going to be taking first unless Lopesca does something incredibly tragic. And he does manage to make his way through one of the trickier portions of the track without wreck. Obviously the R6 Turbo much more well equipped for that area. And Kundrakov even slowing. Kundrakov recognizing that the rotor will have the top speed advantage and will pass him through these areas, and he just needs to sit back and wait for Roddick to make a mistake. We'll see if it happens, and indeed it does. Kundrakov on the pass, Tova nearby with that loud Emperor. 322. Roddick trying to pass. I think he's got it. I think he might have it. I think he's got it. He does. He finds the second place. Against all odds, Kundrakov looked like he had figured out the situation, was going to win that one. But he is going to be coming in third. Kundrakov will. Wallison, a high place finish. Seber joining into the lobby. Inigo has moved up quite a few people, and Jeromu has not. Philo, Chitin, Oisiek will be finishing us up. Show points, please. Thank you, Amma. Yes, indeed. I will be back in just a moment. 30 seconds. Very sorry for that unexpected delay, but we are good to go. Shout out to GDoc workers. I agree. Y'all don't get paid enough. You really don't. Now, I'm going to be honest. I think I'm going to stop playing the in-game sound because the volume levels are just all over the place. So I'll get that set up for us. Indeed, the GDoc workers are what make it happen. Sorry. getting calls. I said, don't bother me. I'm commentating. We are here at Stadvolt. Once again, got a lot of R6 turbos. Got a couple Aquasonics. And got Tova in that Emperor. Very wide line, and a couple people getting caught up in it. Wallison and Oisiek are going to have the short end of the stick. Meanwhile, Inigo making out to an early first place. No Kippy. Exactly, pokers. Now, will they take the parking skip? No. Lopesca, Tova. Tova's going to take in the Emperor. Does not give a heck at all. And it's going to work out quite well for him. Lopesca making it as well. Wow. That is a YOLO. And somebody getting pushed there quite heavily, too. I didn't see exactly who that was. But it does look like Inigo, Lopesca, Kotick, Tova. Titan, Berdang, Kondrakov, midfield. Got Roddick in there as well. As we see two go for the parking skip, and it does work out. Tova sliding out into first over Inigo, who's taking the safer route, and Lopesca putting the pressure to him as well. We'll see if Inigo adapts his route or hopes for the others to wreck. And there's the pass momentarily. Okay. And we're all over the place. It is Tova. Lopesca on the inside. Ooh. Okay, let's see how they handle it. Ooh. Okay, it's going to be Tova making a breakaway. Berdang went for it too from the looks of things. He's going to sneak on into fourth. Lopesca turned around. Falling back to fifth. And our podium has been rearranged. Kotick trying to find a pathway in, ends up flipping. Berdang clean third. We'll see if he goes for the shortcut. Inigo Tova. First, second. Second, first. Berdang not going for the shortcut this time around. Lopesca will recomp some of that time loss earlier from getting turned around. Has passed up Kotick, as we mentioned. And looking a bit back further, we got Roddick challenging, Kondrakov as well. Jeromu a bit of a ways back. Titan and Philo fighting for 8th. Wallison, Seber, Oisiek flipping back towards the front. Sorry about all the flipping there. But we do have more action on our hands that we need to capture. And Berdang, Lopesca fighting it out. Lopesca has hidden that box on the side. Tova nails the shortcut. And it is Inigo leading. Let's go Cam, says Dreamer Bugsy. Welcome in. Got a Cam fan in the house. He is on that Emperor, the only Emperor in the lobby. A very brave driver. Emperor, not a very stable car at all, as Inigo catches one person off guard at the crosswalk. Fortunately, it wasn't him. Berdang still out there in third. Tova. Inigo has flipped over, taking that turn too tightly, and it is going to be Cam Tovalski out in the lead as he goes for the shortcut once again. It is clean enough. It's clean enough. And Inigo fighting him for it. We got Berdang and Kondrakov. Ooh, a little bit of lag from Kondrakov, but looking good now. Okay, Kondrakov on the inside, pushing out Berdang there. Preparing himself for the turn. Oh, kind of weird routing there, but it's all good. Are on the final lap. Kondrakov and Berdang fighting it out. Cam is behind Inigo, so he's going to have to take the shortcut. We've got to watch this. Oh, he gets passed up by Kondrakov and Berdang and Kotick. Ooh, now he really needs a shortcut. He is going to take it. He's there with Lopezka. Lopezka gets crowded out. Jeromu fails and gets repoed. And it is a bunch of people dropping back there. Flipping back towards the front. It's going to be Inigo, Kondrakov, Berdang fighting with Kondrakov at the very end. But, ooh, very wide. It's going to work out. And Tova finds fourth. Kotick passed up. Jeromu barely finding sixth over Lopezka. Titan, Philo, Wallison, and Roddick. Lopezka saying nice lag. Host griefing. All right, there's the finish. Grande Inigo. Grande Inigo. Indeed. Grande Inigo Rave. Indeed was a GR with Tova there. It looked like it was a battle for second between the two of them, but Tova having some last lap issues. Wojciech has to go. And Berdang with the top finish as well. Berdang with the third finish. Indeed was beautiful driving by Kondrakov. Did find that second place. And yeah, Tova, Lopezka, and Jeromu all launching into that shortcut at the same time. There was bound to be havoc. Tova definitely found the upper hand in it, in the chaos. So, we see Lopezka currently out in the lead by almost 20 points here. We are about halfway through our race. We've got Cam Tovalski out in second. Jeromu challenging in third. He has had some rough races, but he started out with a big dub on Jailhouse Rock. He could find some more. Kondrakov has been moving up in the ranks. Berdang, Inigo Rave have been rocking steady. Berdang had that disconnect on Route 77, which was quite unfortunate. And we are headed into our next race here. Urban Sprint 1 is the track. Do we have any car swaps? It doesn't look like we have much of anything. Again, for this session, you can swap between two cars as much as you want, but you can only have two cars race total. And it does look like most of the racers have opted for R6, except in specific scenarios. We see one driver going to the right, all the rest taking the optimal path, so-called. And we've got the U-turn. Already a couple of people getting crowded out there. Big drop down. R6 might struggle to handle this. The sliding glass door catching a couple people. Inigo has fallen back a bit as we flip towards the front. A couple people taking it too tight, and a bit of a technical section. The Aquasonic out in the lead, as we see. R6 definitely going to be hoping to change that once we get to some straightaways. But we see, I think that might be Seber up there. It is Roddick. As we finish our first lap with the downslope into U-turn, it is going to be Lopezka, Tova, Roddick, Kondrakov for our top four. All pretty steady. Strong turn by Kondrakov, not able to find the pass, but he is going to find it with the more impressive acceleration compared to that Aquasonic. Roddick on the inside, taking it back. The fight for third continues. Okay, and Tova in that Emperor is going to be trying to make a statement, and indeed Lopezka losing some speed there. It is going to be Tova. And Lopezka on the inside, tipping the corner. All green lights for Tova, just has to hold on to it. Roddick managing to stay steady. It's sitting on some honks. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to Poland as well. We see we got a Poland fan in the house. Streamer Bugsy, shout out. Lopeska getting caught up a little bit more. Berdang as well. And honestly, Urban Sprint is typically one of our tracks that we don't see many wrecks at. Lopeska going full force through it, jumping over a couple people's head. Roddick has got a repo. Welcome in, welcome in. You're here at a good time. Lopeska on the pass, and he's been making his way 1 by 1, 2 by 2. R6 is the new Toyeka. Toyeka is so 2022. And every year before that. But Kondrakov is our leader. Tova putting in some insane work right away. That portion seems to be great for the Emperor. I do believe R6 is going to excel more in the straight portions though. Whoa, Tova, fierce driving, keeping it on the road as well. Ooh, a slight error can lead to so much heartache, but he's got a, oh, not a good place to wreck for him either. He's going to be able to recomp so much of that right here through that portion. Now he's fighting with Lopeska for it. And Wallerson, XP out in 5th. This is quite the change of events. We haven't been looking backfield at all because there's been a lot of action here towards the podium. But if Wallerson can manage to finish up in 5th, that'll be huge for him. Tova still trying to get by Berdang on the outside. If he can just make it through this last portion, he'll be looking very nice, and Kondrakov has not been doing a great job at cementing his lead. Oh, Lopeska clean in that death R6. And Tova tips the inside corner. Lopeska does as well. It is going to be Kondrakov, Lopeska, Tova, Berdang, Wallerson, Roddick, Jeromu Kotick, Titan, Inigo, a bit of a ways back. Unfortunate race for him. Philo, Sever. Yeah, I changed. It seemed like the in-game music was sometimes it was loud, sometimes it was way too quiet. So I just put on a little amen break in the background. Kind of an interesting part of the track for sure. Okay, and our standings. So Kondrakov, a big first place finish for him, going to get him 25 points. We'll be giving him a nice big boost along with the 20 points from Stadvolt. Lopeska, strong second, going to continue cementing his first place lead. Tova, continuing fighting with that, going to take home 16 points from Urban Sprint. And Wallerson, putting in work, was towards the bottom, but a nice 5th place is definitely going to help him out. He also got 10 points on Route 77. We are headed to Schools Out. We're on our last 4 tracks, I do believe. Schools Out 2, we've only got 4 laps of that. It's one of the longest tracks in the game. You get to see a bit of everything in this track. I'm super excited to see it here. There may be some people like Laggy Rock that aren't too excited to see it on the track list, but for me personally, big fan of this track. I know some people do have some FPS issues on slower computers. We also might be able to get some scenic shots here. We'll give it a try. Shout out to chat. Titan. Ole lead in that Aquasonic. Lopesca nearby. The jump not going to be an issue like it is sometimes for Super Pros. Some different routing already. Tricky portion of the track for sure. Lopesca, Inigo, both surviving it quite well. We've got an early battle for first. Through the milk, through the supermarket freezer section, into the vents they go. Inigo, not able to make it through. Caught up with Roddick and Jeromu now. Jeromu has been quiet for a couple races, but he seems to be turning up the heat so far on Schools Out, a technical track. Cheers. And it is Lopesca still. Strong lead. Lap 1. We do have a tricky portion coming up though. We'll see how they handle the skateboarding section. Can they go Tony Hawk mode? Oh, not quite. That is going to be the loss of the lead for Lopesca. Jeromu hasn't seen first since that first track, but now he's back up there. Ooh, Inigo on the outside. Roddick gonna say thank you very much, but Inigo should be taking it back through this section. If not here, then on the football field. American football, that is. Is it even? Pretty sure it's American football field. Oh, there's the American flag there in the gymnasium. Gotta have one of those. So, yeah, it is. Okay, Lopesca took a bit different angling, but both of them very clean there. Oh, Lopesca doing some tricks. Roddick way up there on the inside. Okay, I didn't cause that. I swear I did not cause that. That was Jeromu. Lopesca catching the wall on the entryway. And these positions are getting shuffled back and forth constantly. Now, this has been a troublesome section for Inigo on the first lap. He does overtake Jeromu, headed into it. Staying pretty steady, but a pretty slow area there for the vents, and Jeromu going to overtake. Oh, and this is our battle for first. For some reason, I was thinking first was way out in the lead somewhere, but no, this is it. First, second, third, all in a row right here as we head through the pro skater portion. Inigo. Okay. In the meantime, flipping back a bit, we've got Kondrakov out in fourth, Tova and Kodak fighting for it. Burdang, Roddick, and Wallison out in ninth. Now I am going to flip back towards the front here real quick. Jeromu, Lopesca tipping the corner. Inigo on the pass, second place. 50 meters for Jeromu. Jeromu's got to be feeling great about this, but again, one of the longest tracks in the game. They're only halfway through it. Tricky portion right here. They are going to be taking slightly different angles. Tova on the inside, but okay. This is going to be a tricky portion for the Emperor. He just takes it wide and ooh, Excellent by Tova. What execution that was. And it looks like Lopeska gets passed by Kotick in the meantime. Thank you for the clip. That was definitely a good one. Burdang nearby as well, as Lopeska gets caught up in the jump down area, I guess, of that. Through the freezer. Lopeska driving hard and aggressive here, pushing out Kotick. And Kondrakov gets to benefit from that as well. Inigo way on the outside, and Lopeska going to be nabbing up some more meters. Are only on lap 3 or 4. They're headed through the pro skater. Inigo. And I hear that Emperor out in second place. So I wonder where Jeromu is at this moment. Jeromu, 70-meter lead as they approach the final lap of Schools Out 2. Jeromu's got to be feeling great about this. He's coming back in a big way. Lopeska has been struggling technically on this track so far, and not quite going to be, well, the inside out. Kondrakov gonna hope to lock down. Burdang on the pass as well. Whoa, okay. Lopeska is the one getting pushed out now. A tough landing from Kondrakov, and this is something that I predicted going into Schools Out 2. It hadn't come into fruition so far, but that is a tough landing, and R6 does struggle with them from time to time. Inigo, ooh, in the middle of nowhere, just falling out there. Okay, as we flip back, Tova. Jeromu has fallen on the upslope, and that's going to be a massive loss of time if Tova can make it cleanly. Now, Tova has just about cut this lead in half against Jeromu, but Jeromu's still got lots of work with. He's in the freezer section, getting caught up in the vents. This is a tough section for the Emperor. Tova making it look easy. Still holding Jeromu's feet to the fire. They headed to the sewers. $50 meters. As they emerge out of the sewers, we've got Burdang in third, Kondrakov in fourth, Lopeska in fifth, Kotick 50 meters back. Jumping over the basketball. Pesca trying to find an edge here. Burdang too far on the inside, gets passed by two. Tricky section. We do see Jeromu has not held on to this lead. Tova really fighting. Jeromu tries to do the double cut, instead just goes for that single. Marginally safer for sure. And we just have one more tricky portion. We'll see if Jeromu's able to nail it. Well, he's lost some more speed going into the football field. Oh, Tova. Tova's definitely feeling it. Jeromu, clean. Tova's got plenty of room to fix that turn. Lopeska as well. Okay, Lopeska passing up Burdang for fourth place. Kotick, Roddick, Inigo, Wallison. These positions seem to have mostly stayed pretty similar. Titan and Sever, however, fighting in their Aquasonics. Sorry, Lopeska. Sever trying to. Oh, he almost found it. That would have been the hypest thing I've seen today if Sever could whip it like that and find the pass. That would have been insane. That was a really nice attempt by Sever there at the very end. So we do have the live standings getting updated. And I was wrong. There are not 3 tracks left. That's just the sheet getting. Well, I think I said 4 tracks last time, so I think we're right. Let me pull it up though, just to be sure. We've got Toy World Mahim, 7 laps of that. Spa Vault 2, 7 laps, and Castle 1, 6 laps, and we will be done. Thank you, Zaloy. Shout out to Maddie. Honestly, good advice by Royales, but shout out to you too, Lopesca. And let's see, we have the 1 sec please being called. So I do think we will just be taking a moment, seeing if anybody is swapping. We can do that. Again, seeing lots of those R6s, a couple Aquasonics being preferred by Roddick, Kotick, Wallison, and Seber. And Tova, the Lone Emperor, very reminiscent of Tom Dom last season into Emperor, the standout Emperor. I think it was in Division 2, and he really tore it up with it. So that's what this is giving me vibes of right now, because Tova is really performing quite excellently, out in 2nd place. And he's got an 8-point lead over 3rd. Now, 3rd place is currently held by Kondrakov, who has moved up in the standings over Jeromu. But Jeromu just got a 1st place, and so Jeromu hoping to close that gap, only 2 points behind at the moment. Berdang and Roddick. Berdang is a bit on an island, around 89 points. Then we've got Roddick, Inigo Rave, and Kotick all within 1 point of each other. 70 points, 71 points, 72 points. And we are headed in for some Mahim. A very interesting beginning portion of the track. Might catch some people off. And mostly looks pretty sane, pretty chill. Definitely some wall riding. Lopesca caught up. Berdang driving on the wall, it looked like, but it's going to work out for him. Another very narrow portion of the track, more wall riding. And there's not really much room to work with here. People getting just crowded out left and right. Wallison is leading. Wallison from Brazil is currently leading our race. We've got Tova out in 2nd, trying to find the pass here. And indeed he will on that Emperor. Jeromu in 3rd in the R6 Turbo. Indeed. This is not the widest of tracks. And a lot of times you do want to go for wall rides. So it's just not going to have a ton of options as far as passing. But this should be a good portion for Jeromu. And indeed he's going to push Wally out of the way. Berdang is going to capitalize on that as well, as will Seber and Kotick. Wallison fighting these other Aquasonics to hold on to his positions. Looks pretty chill comparatively, okay? We all know what can happen on this track, especially with pickups on the first lap and on the first turns. Things can go absolutely manic. And so we've got Tova, Jeromu, Berdang is our front 3. And flipping back in the field a bit, Kondrakov, Kotick, Lopesca doing some damage control here after an early wreck that was a bit out of his control on one of the first turns. As can happen, Inigo doing some damage control as well out here in 7th place. Roddick, Wallison has fallen back. Unfortunate for him. Seber, Titan, Philo. And back to the front, we've got Jeromu being accosted by Tova on the inside. Can't hold on to that lead though. The Emperor, such an aggressive engine sound as well. It's quite worrisome when you hear it right behind you. Okay, Jeromu looking clean. This would be absolutely great for Jeromu. He would be passing up Kondrakov and he would be moving towards a fight for 2nd. But Tova, who is our current overall second place, is sitting second in this race as well. So Tova keeping strong. There is the turnaround. Tough track for Emperor. Actually, this is a pretty good track for Emperor, I would say. But Berding, Lopesca has done a ton of work. Yeah, a bit of a jinx. Berding on the pass. Only a couple laps left, and you can see Lopesca going for the full wall ride, especially once you get up into pro cars. That's what's going to be a majority of people doing. Here on Advanced, it does seem like they have a little bit more room for doing something other than that. In the meantime, Berding has gotten flipped, sauced, and tossed all around the track. It started with the piano section, but it just continued crowd surfing throughout, and Tova has that second place now. Lopesca third, Berding a bit back and forth for lap 7. We've got to stay tracked in here because Lopesca, with that smooth aquasonic, finds the pass. Tova momentarily losing control and playing some pinball with that Emperor. He's got some work to do. He could possibly find it, going for the wall ride strategy, full speed, not going to find the tip that he needed. And Jeromu almost choking, but he does find the finish. Lopesca second, Tova in third, Berding in fourth. So that's actually quite. Oh, Wally! Whoa! Wow! I don't know how Roddick found the speed there, but he did. Inigo in eighth. Titan barely beating out Seber, who chooses to go for the ramp. Whoa! Quite the switch up there. Wallison coming out of nowhere. Almost found fifth. He got knocked way back, but that was a great track for Wallison XP. He would have preferred fifth, of course, over sixth, but not bad. So as we look back at the standings, remember Jeromu. Jeromu was only going to be getting 5 points over Tova from that race, but since Tova got knocked back to third by Lopesca, he's going to be getting a couple more than that. It should be more like 7 or 8 points over. So I can actually link the live standings right now if people would prefer to just look at themselves. I think that should be fine. Nick, if you want to confirm, but I think that should be fine. Okay, you're fine with me doing that. Okay. Okay, and so we can see the overall standings. Lopesca with a nice little 20-pointer here on Toy World Mahim for 20 points overall in first place, 20 points ahead of Tova. We see Tova in a super tight battle with Jeromu. Now, it wasn't, I thought it was, he actually got plus 9 points from that race. Jeromu 25, Tova 16, thanks to that third place that Lopesca put Tova into. And so now Jeromu 1 point behind. We've also continually got a close battle for 6. Roddick, Inigo, and Kotick all nearby. Wallison pretty nearby as well. But we are beginning our next track, Spa Volt. A lot of R6s, as we have often seen. Lopesca opting for the Aquasonic, Tova staying true to the Emperor. And this is quite a technical track. A lot of people getting caught up in that narrow doorway. Some more narrow sections that are quite easy to get caught up in. And that will continue to be the case as we head through this track. In fact, I'm surprised to not see Tova opting for a different car here. He must be feeling super confident on Emperor, because this is a tough track, very technical, lots of speed control, and lots of risk for an understeery car such as the Emperor. Kotick is in second, Inigo in third, Titan fourth. Inigo has been quiet in a number of these races lately, but this could be a new step forward for him into the final 2 tracks, I believe. Tova has had some instability issues. He's fallen back behind Kotick in that Aquasonic. Burdang nearby in 4th. Shout out to Ertzu. Tova and Kotick fighting. Tova definitely going to have the speed advantage, whereas Kotick has a stability advantage. So Kotick just going to hope to drive consistently in order to take out Tova here. Tova getting caught up in the laundry. One of those little piles of laundry, and that's why you don't leave out your laundry. That's why it's very important that you don't leave out your laundry in little piles like that. So Kotick is going to be way out in 1st. Inigo in 2nd with the R6 Turbo. And like I said, a new step forward for Inigo. He does have a minor wreck. He does have to flip. Tova we can say he's a force to be reckoned with. He has been this entire session, and he's continuing to be, even on tracks that I wouldn't say are particularly geared towards him. But I wouldn't say they're particularly geared towards the R6 either. So interesting. Just comfort picks coming out, I would say. In the meantime, though, we've got Titan with a strong 3rd place. Tova gets caught up in the sliding doors, and now it's going to be Titan and Burdang fighting for 2nd. Burdang does find the pass. Titan has been a quiet racer, but this would be an excellent grab bag of points for him. Inigo trying to do some recoup. Not quite so successful at it. And Tova out of nowhere. Okay, alternate routing. He's feeling himself. Titan out in 4th still. And these positions are getting swapped up like musical chairs for the moment. Titan capitalizing on some technical issues from Kondrakov and Tova simultaneously. And let's flip towards the front, see how our front field is doing. Jeromo and Burdang fighting for 2nd, and Kotick out in 1st. I do believe this will be Kotick's first victory. He's with the Aquasonic, which I would say is very well geared for Spa Vault. And Jeromo has made another minor error, which brings him back into this tussle with Burdang. Now we've got Roddick, Inigo, Kondrakov as well for 4th, 5th, 6th. And we will keep our eyes on that, but Burdang doing some moves on Jeromo here. Oh, now very fortunate for Burdang that he didn't get caught behind that red door, because that would have been a tragedy. He does manage to just barely scrape by and continue fighting Jeromo, as Jeromo takes a very safe route through there, but Burdang hits the railing. Now he's caught up with Roddick and Kondrakov and Inigo. This battle has not ceased. We've got Tova in it as well. Tricky race for Tova, and this is going to mean Jeromo passing up Tova in the overall point standings if the race finishes as it is currently. We see Jeromo out in 3rd. I'm doing a lot of flipping, I apologize for that. We got Jeromo, Burdang, and Roddick fighting for 2nd. We'll stay locked in on this for a bit. Yes, Marquito. You can swap through. Caught up in the water, Burdang. That is a dang kind of moment. Jeromo losing a lot of speed on the incline. This is the final lap here. Jeromo really needs the 2nd place to really make a statement against Tova. Roddick, unfortunately, on the laundry himself. Kondrakov not going to let this pass him by. He's going to continue trying to fight for that 2nd. He's got a lot of speed over Jeromo, but Jeromo does catch and is able to block quite effectively. Now, will they go for any alternate routing here? I know there's a star over here, which obviously they're not going to go for, but there is kind of a way to do the old finish still, right? A little bit? Well, they're not going to risk it. I certainly wouldn't either. It's been a while. Burdang, Inigo, Roddick. Tova barely finishing over Lopezka. Titan falling back quite a bit. Okay, and some interesting finishes here. Kodak's first place, Joromu with a very powerful second place over Tova's 7th. That and also Kondrakov got 3rd, so there could be more people pushing up against Tova in the final standings as we head into what is, I believe, our final race. We've got Berdang with a strong 4th. Berdang's been completing high up every single race so far, it feels like, here, except for his 1 DC. So we are headed to the last track. I will pull up the standings just for a moment. Joromu 10 points ahead of Tova and is only trailing first by 9. We thought first place was locked in, but Lopezka only getting 8 points from Spavault 2. Kondrakov 133 fighting for 3rd and possibly 2nd. Roddick, Inigo, only 3 points separating. Wallyson, Titan, only 2 points separating. So I do believe that covers most of the battles. Big battle for 1st, 2nd, 2nd, 3rd, 3rd, 4th. Depending on how these races shape up, Tova could still win in theory. That too, indeed. Philo and Lopezka are going to be starting with our polls here. Bit of mayhem at the start. I hear a couple of people getting caught on those catapult type deals. And a big moment for our racers. Okay. Nobody getting too crowded out in that narrow doorway. Everybody able to take the line they want up the revolving incline. And it is Berdang leading our race. He gets flipped up, and another person falls off. So it is Tova and Lopezka. These are front two by a large margin. Philo is 3rd. He has been pretty quiet. Wallyson is nearby too. A real swap up in the standings here as we are on our final track. Berdang squeezing into 3rd. Wallyson and Philo feeling themselves as they start the 2nd lap. Shout out to them, the Brazilian brothers in this together. Actually, I don't know if they know each other, but I'm assuming they might. A tip on the corner for Wallyson. Philo is still staying steady. Does get passed up by Inigo, Kotick, and Roddick. We got some cheers for our boy Cam. Philo trying to keep it steady. Does get crowded out a bit in that very narrow area. Holding on though, he passes too. And Lopezka has fallen back. And poor Philo. A momentary lapse. And it is going to lose him a lot. Inigo 3rd, Lopezka 4th, Roddick 5th. And where is Joromu? It's an excellent question. Let's find out. Cam is out in 1st. Berdang in 2nd. Where is Joromu? Lopezka in 3rd. Inigo 4th. Kotick, Roddick, Kondrakov, Seber, Philo, Titan, Wallyson, Joromu in 12th. Halfway through the track, he's got some more work to do. No one has brought out the pass. We might see it in Division 2 or Division 1. It has been a very tame selection of cars. We saw Roddick bring out the rotor on Route 77, and we've seen a couple NY54 races from, I think it was Kotick, possibly. But that's neither here nor there. Tova is leading our current race. And keep in mind, Lopezka is our current points leader. He's up by 9 points. If we can just pull it up real quick, he is 9 points over Joromu. But Joromu is a ways back. So this could be looking great for Lopezka. It's going to be looking great for Tova as well. And Joromu's got some work to do. Berdang with a strong 2nd place. Inigo 4th. Roddick 5th. Kondrakov 6th. Kotick 7th in that NY54. Burdang is Burdun. Burdang's actually looking good. Burdang looking pretty burgered. And Inigo out of nowhere. Ooh. Inigo tripping on air. That's going to be tough for him. Konjakov and Roddick on the pass. Where is Jeromu? Jeromu is in 9th. Jeromu is in 9th. As we flip back towards the front, Tova with some Emperor sliding. We are using MotoGP point scoring. 25 for first, 20 for second. I think it's 16 for third. So yeah, Burdang, the nice second. Ooh, some shoddy turning though. Lopezka sneaks into second. Huge gap between third and fourth. 80 meters. Burdang on the way inside. An easy pass. Jeromu is 10 points ahead of Tova, indeed. This is a nightmare race for Jeromu. Burdang barely manages to recover. That could have been incredibly catastrophic, and it often is in my RVA races. But Burdang, by the grace of God, finds a way to make it work. Lopezka is trying to make his way through, but he's giving Burdang a window. And Burdang's going to take it. He's going to jump straight through it. And he is going to snag second. And it's the final lap here, the final lap of our session, the first week of races for Division 3, and it is Tova with the strong first place lead, Burdang second, fighting with Lopezka for third. As we flip back through one last time, Konjakov, Roddick, Kotick, Inigo, Jeromu has made his way to 8th, passed up Wallison, but not by a lot. Lopezka is still out here in second. Burdang, he tried it. It didn't work out. Lopezka is going to take it for second place. Burdang for third, but he really attempted it there. We've got Inigo fighting with Jeromu for 9th. And Jeromu is going to find that one position. That might be exactly what he needed. We will see exactly how the points fill out. But, ooh, that was a nice pass by Jeromu right there at the very end over Inigo. And that is going to finish us out. Tova with the first, Lopezka second, Burdang third, Konjakov fourth. So Konjakov looking good in the overall standings as well. And let's see our live standings get updated. I'll wait until it's completely done, and then y'all can see it. It'll be a surprise because it's current. Our Google spreadsheet workers are working overtime. Shout out to them. Specifically Nick, and I do believe we are about ready to show. GG's indeed, GG's across the board, and GG's to chat. Glad you all enjoyed. And I think we're ready to display. It is going to be Lopezka first, Cam Tovalsky second, Jeromu third, Konjakov fourth, Burdang fifth, Kotick sixth, Roddick seventh, Inigo 8th, Wallison, Titan, Philo, Seber, Wojciech to finish us out. So congratulations to Lopezka. Able to find that victory, was really in the thick of it there leading into the final track. But Jeromu falling out on that very final track, it gave Lopezka exactly what he needed, and it gave Tova exactly what he needed as well. Tova with a super strong finish though on his own, in his own right. So congratulations to Tova as well in that second place. Konjakov was fighting for the podium through and through, and he did end up finding fourth, which is quite respectable. Burdang with a disconnect, didn't make his way into Route 77, wasn't aware the race started until about a minute and a half after it already began. Unfortunate unfortunate, but it did lead up to a big points loss for him there on Route 77. Roddick bringing out the rotor on Route 77, ingenuity, and also a big shout out to Tova for bringing out that Emperor. So, we will be back for Division 2 on Friday, I think at 19 UTC. Let me double check. Friday, 19 UTC, Saturday, 19 UTC. That will be Division 1 will be on Saturday. Division 2 will be on Friday. So 2 days from now, be sure to tune in. I don't think we have anything going on tomorrow, but Friday, Saturday, and then on Sunday, we'll have the Revolt Endurance Championship, which is also going on at the same time. So GG's indeed. Shout out to our viewers. Shout out to our contestants. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you'll be here for Division 2. Shout out to Dreamer Bugsy. Good to have you here. We had a ton of people chatting, and it's great to see. And we'll see you next time.